What's up, Raider Nation? Spicy Raider Girl here with Mother Moon and Omar, and this is our take. What is up, Raider Nation? Victory Tuesday. Here we are. Woo! Mad Max and the Raiders stole Christmas. They had those AFC Championship hats in their little bag, just waiting to put them on, and swooped them up and carried them off. We are here to celebrate. Still in the playoff hunt. What's good, Mother Moon and Omar?
Oh, so excited. Still having a smile, just flick those hats right off of their little wannabe heads.
They were crying about it. They were literally crying about it. But before we get into it, I just want to say, of course, hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. And thanks for joining us tonight. Light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe, become a member, and share this video. The drinking game alert tonight is higher AP. If you're down with that, every time we say it, you know what to do. You can take a drink. I'm doing both tonight. And I'm going to take a toke. So we celebrating. Enough of that. We might even start twerking here. I would like to say this. Mother Moon made this drink. It's like some sort of Woodson whiskey concoction, and it's delightful. I'm not sure what's in it, but it's lovely. And she made me a backup of some other sort of Woodson whiskey delightful concoction. So I'm set. They're going to hear a lot of APs tonight. I hope. I hope. And before we get into it, remember, if you want to support the channel, hit that super chat button to support the channel. And I want to shout out my friend Lucky. Thank you for becoming a member. We appreciate you. Lucky was on our show not too long ago as he was in contention, is actually, for Super Fan of the Year. The Super Fan of the Year will be announced at the last game, the Broncos versus the Raiders. I believe it's at the end of the first quarter. So he doesn't even know yet if he won or not. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Good luck, my friend. Thank you for the membership. And we are going
put
to
our word out for you, Lucky. We got our up there. So good luck to you.
I voted.
All right. Thanks for voting. All right. We are going to bring in our special guest for tonight. Omar's how do I say? Other how's she in, buddy? Scotty Waddy Raider 1. Thanks for joining us.
What it do?
Waddy.
Yes, sir. The returning
Looking
champion.
good, my friend. Looking good.
Yeah, let's go. What happened yesterday? I didn't see nothing.
Yeah.
Me.
Man.
Everything.
I saw a lot of tears is what I saw.
Saw that too. I saw a lot.
Not from us.
Throwing
I was
helmets.
happy, but I don't know why everybody was crying. What happened? I don't know.
I always, every time I go to a game, I was like, if I'm feeling some sort of way, I'm gonna go to the back row because, listen, I never want this to be me.
I thought Taylor broke up with him. I was like, wait, no, that's my defense frustrating him that way.
I never want to be that meme. Look at how you gonna get caught like that, homie.
Man.
All of them did. All of them did. Old Kermit, he got caught crying too. Watery eyes.
They did.
This was like what? Is this like the second or third game that Mahomes has been crying? I'm like, what is Brittany doing to that man?
I mean, he's always kind of been a crybaby. I mean, now it's just more exposed because it's happening more often, I think.
It could be.
I mean, there's always
Brittany has a new friend. She's got herself a Taylor.
She got someone to console her. Listen, look. She thought she was going to put on that hat for sure. And Taylor Swift just back there like thinking that you can see the song lyrics like going on in her head. Like she about to write her next song.
Don't cry, baby girl. Don't cry.
But the best is Brittany right here. Like, look at her.
She's like, they're down there. Our guys are crying. Yeah. I thought that was something else.
The only thing we really needed was a picture of Garoppolo walking hand in hand with old Taylor walking away from the stadium. That's all we really needed right there. Hey, take them away, both of y'all. Go.
Oh, wow.
It was a fun day all the way around.
It was. That game was something else. You know what I mean? I remember talking about it could be an ugly game. Like, hey, I wouldn't mind seeing an ugly game. And I'm like, wow, Santa Claus delivered. Because it was. Our defense was bussing them
Oh, no.
Hey, Mahomes.
We got much love for Matt Max's wife, but this is just funny.
I guess our defense is about to be home wreckers as well.
This is wrong.
You're not making any moves, you know. She just like, oh, hey, Matt Max.
He's on to the next in a minute.
Man, that is super awesome right there.
What's good, Ana Diaz? Good evening, and thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. Jay Jackson.
What's up, Jay?
Always all up in here. Thank you so much.
Man.
And Menez Video Productions. Mahomes was crying, saying, Andy, I need you now. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. So now we know that the first season that Tyreek left, they won a Super Bowl. Are they hurting for Tyreek now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Big time.
I think so. I think they are. I definitely think they're hurting for Tyreek now. You know, they had Juju in there that season, you know, and he's gone. And looks like, you know, the struggle is real. You know, and I think AP said it. You know, they're tired. Look at how they've been performing. And he was like, you know, we got to be out for blood. And, man, had me pumped.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is awesome.
Are those for real?
This is awesome.
I mean, I think.
They real to me. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I mean, they're real. I'm not sure if they're from yesterday's game, but they're real.
Oh, my God.
Define real, Mother Moon.
Oh,
It's somebody
really
else's
funny.
lips on there, eyes.
Look, if it's on the internet, it's real.
There you go.
Hey, it's real funny. And it happens for real after you lose. Here comes the memes, man. Shoot.
All right. So let's get into this. So the Raiders were 11.5 point underdogs going into this game on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody expected the Raiders to win. In fact, all of the talking heads on TV said that the Raiders were going to lose. It was a clean sweep for the Chiefs to win. Nobody thought the Raiders stood a chance. You know, they had their AFC Championship hats and T-shirts just waiting to come out of the box, and now they're on a ship to Cambodia.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, kids over there. Listen, the Raiders did so much yesterday, right? Not only did they win to keep their playoff hopes alive, it's a possibility for them to win the AFC West, but also spoilers for Kansas City. Kansas City now has a chance of losing the AFC West. And not only that, the most important thing is knocked them out of contention for being the number one seed, which means if the Chiefs finish the season and make the playoffs, they will not have a bye and then will not have a home game playoff game, which will be the first times in the Mahomes era that he has not had a home playoff game. So it was like double whammy, double good for the Raiders. You know what I mean? All the good for the Raiders and all the bad for the Chiefs, all in one game, which I love. And to go further, almost everything that needed to happen in the AFC went the Raiders' way to help them in their cause. And now, Omar, I'm going to pick on you a little bit here because I'm going to circle back because we had this conversation.
I know what's coming because I heard
Christmas Eve, right? The only thing that didn't go their way was the Bills ended up beating the Chargers. Now, for me, that's not satisfying. I don't care if the Chargers lost. Now I'm thinking I would have now I'm thinking I was always thinking I wanted that to happen because that would have been the one thing that didn't happen that didn't go the Raiders' way. So, Omar, you still feel the same kind of way?
Well, all I was saying, and I'm not backpedaling here. I just want to accentuate the whole moral of what I was saying is that as Raider fans, we get emotional, and that rational thought that you were displaying about the need for the Bills to lose and Chargers win, sometimes, for us go out of the window. I mean, we need a lot. We still need a lot to happen. But you're absolutely right. It would definitely have been even better if the Bills lost. But, I still, and like I say, with a lot of other Raider fans, still kind of like the fact that Chargers were eliminated. I saw that all over the internet, and it made
they had already been eliminated.
Yeah. So
I think they were out already.
But anyway, it was a great day overall. Scotty Waddy, what was your reaction yesterday? How were you feeling like right after that clock hit 0?
Well, I got to add one thing to what you said, though. One other thing that happened. Everybody drink up, because I think that absolutely solidified AP getting hired.
Yes.
Woo! Drink that
I think
up.
that solidified it. Not that I thought that needed to happen, but a lot of people were saying that. What are you going to say now? It's probably going to be later on in the show, but my instant reaction was, one, I thought we could win this game. Of course, I'm biased, but I truly thought that we could win this game. I was like, the Chiefs ain't the same Chiefs. They don't have any wide receivers. I think our defense has been playing lights out. Can't nobody tell me shit about that. You can rank them for the whole season, but go ahead and rank them over the past 5 weeks. I bet you we right at the top, everybody. So, I don't know the numbers, but I'm just saying, I mean, it's just common sense to me. Instant reaction. I mean, you beat the damn Chiefs. Fuck the Chiefs. So, to ruin all the things that you said, to ruin their hopes that, and they come in there so cocky, ring
right, that part.
all that nonsense, all that crying they've been doing, they expected this shit. So it was even better than just a win. Here's another thing. I don't know how, but we beat every team in our division this year. We beat every team in the division this year. And that hasn't been said for every season, as of late. So we beat every team in the division, and that's just great. My thing about this win that I thought was absolutely spectacular, one of the things is that, we're going to end this season on a high note.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens the next 2 games. We're ending this on a high note. Obviously, I'd like to win the next 2 games, and I think we absolutely can win the next 2 games.
Right.
But we're going to end it on a high note, and I think that's just, again, I made that comment on the show the other day. It's just huge for the morale of the team. And that leads into a whole bunch of other discussions, but ending the season on a great note like that, forget about it. It's huge. It's huge for our team.
Yeah, most definitely. And what's up, Raider Speedy? He is right on this one. He said, Jack Jones was a true Grinch. I mean, let's talk about Jack Jones a little bit here, because
let's talk about him.
Speaking of some moves that, AP has made, he gave Peters the boot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy right here is stepping up. So those are good moves. Go ahead, Omar. What you got to say?
I mean, he coached this kid in high school.
Yeah.
Then this kid transferred to AP over at Arizona State. He gets drafted in the 4th round by the Patriots. He had a little off the field issue, and they released him. And man, this is what we're talking about with AP. This is his intangible. I'm gonna go on a limb and say, even with this little off the field issue, which got dismissed, I don't think the Patriots would have released him if he was playing at this level for them. But
no,
Belichick, he wasn't. I mean, like I said, he was just drafted in 22, so it's not like he's some seasoned vet. So you gotta give Champ and AP credit bringing this guy in, and then you saw him get really. And do you guys remember the game? He got heated, and AP came and talked to him.
We're bouncing around all over.
Settled him down, and then boom. he gets back out there. I mean, so
I personally love that. I love that part of it. I'm glad he was that mad. I'm glad he was that fired up. I'm glad AP was the one that was right there in his face.
Yep.
And AP was saying, "Hey man, it ain't worth it. We got the lead. Let the scoreboard do the talking." I'm all that's good. All that is good for us. You gotta play with that intensity, and I think AP brings that.
Yeah.
And he brings discipline. You know, I mean, he brings discipline. He played, when he played with Giants, I remember Strahan talking about that coach and how they was going crazy when he came in there and brought all that discipline. And guess who AP reached out to when he became our interim head coach? He went and brought that guy in, and I'm sure that's going to be a part of his makeup because he knows that with all the intensity and everything else, the X's and O's, being disciplined is extremely important. Because, like you say, you want them violent, you want them this, but they got to do it within, the whistle, and they got to not get penalties. Yeah. It's all for nothing. So,
number one in penalties. Who would the hell have thought that?
With the least amount of penalties,
right?
Yeah, because usually say number one in penalties, it's like the highest. So yeah, the Raider, right. Just to clarify, the least amount. But look at these numbers here by Jack Jones. Since joining the Raiders in Week 11. With 239 snaps, 20 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 11 receptions allowed, 78 yards allowed. These numbers are high for him in a good way and low for him in a good way. I mean, these are some really good stats here. And he looks like he's having fun. To your point, Omar, he already has a rapport with AP, through high school, college, and now in the pros. And you had mentioned that, I'm sorry, what did you say? That they, he's motivating. A lot of it comes with, I think these men really respect him as a coach, and you don't get that motivation out of someone unless you're respected.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, he's been there. Right. Not only has he been there, you know what I mean, and he was a player. He played at a high level himself, and like I say, I mean, that leadership quality that he has, like I say, I love, that, even Michael Strahan was.
Yes, he doubled down on it recently.
Yeah. Like he was a leader as a player. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, like I say, man, this guy got things that you can't buy, and Mark Davis, please don't screw this up.
And I want to say also, when he talks, when AP talks in the locker room at the press conference, it's we believe, I believe, he's always inclusive of everyone on the team, so I think that we has a lot to do with it. They feel him as a coach. I think.
But speaking of Mark Davis.
Damn.
Offered AP a contract, everyone. You heard it here first.
What the?
I will drink to that. Hire AP now, baby.
If you're playing with us, the drinking game alert, of course, is hire AP now. We're all here on the panel on board with that. If you're on board with that, take a drink with us.
He said, "New team, new attitude, new hair." Watch out now.
New team, new attitude, new hair. That's right. Let me get to some of these comments here because I want to say what's up to everybody that's here watching. Congrats, Anna. She said she won $99 off a $20 bet. Good for you. Good job, man. I know. I gotta bet some money just for fun. John, we just need an offense that can put up at least 14 points. Well, we're going to talk about that later because as happy as we are with this win, I mean, that was an issue. Okay. We want to be happy. Nothing's going to take that win away, but yeah, we're going to get into that.
Definitely.
Let's see what's good. Thanks. Who else we got in here? Chris with Protect the Shield. What's good, my friend? We'll be on tomorrow at 8:30 with some Whiskey Wednesdays. Make sure to tune in. Raider Travis, thanks for tuning in. Longtime supporter of the show. We appreciate you as well. But yeah, why don't we just get into it? Because these stats on offense are kind of crazy if you think about it. There was not an offensive touchdown scored in this game, yet the Raiders still managed to win because of two defensive touchdowns, obviously, as we know. So the offense scored 5 points, 1 field goal, and 2 on a 2-point conversion. You can almost give the 2-point conversion to the defense because they scored that off of a defensive touchdown, right? So this is not sustainable. Let's just be honest here. This having your offense score no touchdowns and winning is not sustainable. So what do we got to do here, guys?
See, this is what I was talking about with AOC. What we want to look at, because he didn't get a completion. After the first quarter, my man did not throw a completion for 3 quarters. I mean, that's his job. Throw, receiver, catch. And I saw several of those going to Devontae.
Yes.
And they were off. And every time I'm going to make the decision that I'm going to make the assumption, that Devontae was in the right place and the ball went to the wrong place. I'm just going to give it to the vet.
A couple. I mean, sorry, I'm moving. Yes and no. I think that Devontae could have caught a couple of those.
I'm not even talking about the ones that hit his hands that the defender was on him. I'm talking about some that didn't even get to his hands. And when you see a few like that, I'm like, ooh, that kind of makes me, that just didn't look good to AOC. That didn't look good to preach his case. Like I say, that shows some inconsistency with him, whether it was, pressure.
I didn't even believe this stat, honestly. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
So I knew this was going to come up. This is my 2 cents on that. So I haven't been 100% sold on O'Connell. But that's hard. That's a little bit harsh. That's a harsh take. Is he missing some passes? Yeah, he's missing some passes. Could Devontae have caught some of those passes? Yeah, he could have caught some of those passes. There's no doubt about that. There's no argument there. Here's my thing. To defend O'Connell, if you will, and again, I'm not sold on him. Mm-hmm. How do we truly judge O'Connell? He came up not starting, not taking those starter reps in practice. Gets thrown into a game with the Chargers. That was a hot mess already.
Yeah.
In McDaniels, who we all know is trash, and then he gets sent over in the middle of the season to a linebacker coach who has no playbook. So how do we really judge Aiden O'Connell? We really can't. In his defense, we really can't. Here's the one thing I will say about him, though. How many interceptions did he have yesterday? 0. None. How many fumbles did he have? 0. Same with the last game. So while he's not doing good, you can also say he's not doing
bad, right?
Well, he's improving, isn't it? It looks like he has a little more power behind his throw. So I think he's improving from when I first noticed him.
I think so.
Definitely improving.
He's coming along, but again, you have given the guy the absolute worst scenario to be able to perform, and this guy goes into Arrowhead and doesn't commit a turnover. You guys have all been to Arrowhead. You can't hear there. A lot of mistakes are made because of that crowd. A lot.
So they
were loud. Even did you notice, the crowd basically cleared out, which was kind of weird. But anyway,
they did.
But even half of them were still super loud.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You put the guy in the worst situation. Am I sold on the guy? No, but is there some things that I got to say? Hey, man, I got to give him credit for some things. Definitely. So is he our quarterback? I don't know.
Right. But I think that's what I was making too, though, is that is probably what they're looking at. You know what I mean? Where, like I say, yep, he has improved, but like we were saying last show, it definitely hasn't been enough time for him to show us that he's the franchise quarterback. And if you don't have a franchise quarterback yet, I think, hey, if I'm a GM, I'm drafting. Depending on how well AOC does, that depends on how high I draft and then what's on my board. And I still feel that exact same way. You know what? I don't think that having a quarterback competition is a bad thing, especially when you just got your guy in, like you were saying, in a situation that he was in. Hey, he's made some improvements. That's great. We know we knew that. We heard that from other players about how hard he's going to work. But I just, like I say, I still think we should draft a QB. I don't know how high. We got.
That's all you could ask for. Be putting someone in a situation.
They have to draft a QB. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to. Yeah, they have to. And I think we're going to draft a QB, and I think we're going to get a little bridge quarterback to sit back there. I heard some people talking about Trubinsky. I'm not neither here or there on him because he's not going to be our starter. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, like I said, I can't really judge O'Connell right now. You've given him the worst situations and want him to do right, but he's done some things that aren't bad, which is fumble and throw picks.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I just think
really quickly. Hold that thought. Really quickly before we go on. If you're watching right now, in the comment, because I think we're all torn here on the panel. So in the comment, let us know. Do you ride with AOC? What's your feeling right now? Are we riding with him, or do you think we should move on from him? I think we can all agree we need to draft a quarterback. So that's kind of like neither here nor there. But is he in your mind right now the starter moving into next season? Let us know what you think. Comments.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is there a quarterback, one of these veteran guys that's retired or whatever, that comes over, not to the team, but to come over to O'Connell and say, hey, in the offseason, and say, hey, look, watch this film, see this here, see this there, and give him some clarity on what it takes. Does he need that? Does he need a John Gruden that comes over and
whoa
a little bit?
I'm
just saying,
take that easy, Scotty Waddy. Take that easy.
Hey,
here's my one feeling about AOC. I think he puts us in a position that we don't have to do anything desperate for QB. We don't have to go pay some free agent. I just think we should draft and then just figure out how. I think he'd take, if I had to make a decision right now, I would say, I don't have to use a first round pick on a QB if I like someone better at that spot. You know what I mean? Like, that would be my mind state if I'm champ. I would say, I'm looking at AOC and I'm saying, okay, if I don't have someone better on my draft board when this quarterback that we like, because, I think that quarterback that AP coach with is probably their, number one on the board outside of the USC guy, which is going to be gone. And if there's someone better that they got on their draft board that they know that's going to come in and is going to, help this team, I think AOC gives them that, that leverage to say, we don't have to pull a trigger this high. I think that's what he gives us, which is great, which is a good thing. It's just still not a franchise quarterback yet.
Let me expand on what you said, Omar, because
it's been 7 games.
So I'm a fan of Jaden Daniels, and I'm not a huge college person. However, you alluded to something, and I think you've said it best because I haven't heard nobody put it like this, Omar. The X factor, which is what AP has. He seems to be doing pretty damn well with players that he knows, and this guy Jaden Daniels. I didn't expect him to win the Heisman Trophy, but I don't follow college as much. But anyways,
he won. He did win.
Why not? And I'm saying, hey, if we got to move up a little bit to get Jaden Daniels, well, maybe. But I also agree that maybe we don't have to, and we can take somebody later. Later on down the road. I wouldn't mind finding some other pieces to the puzzle, solidifying that defense in the draft. I wouldn't mind doing that. But what I don't want to do is give up one of our star players to move up to get another quarterback. I hope we don't do that.
No. I think there's too many good building blocks right now to start.
Right.
Well, okay, hold on. Yes, I cut myself off, but because it's debatable who is disposable, right? Like, I think, which other people might not. I think Renfro's disposable.
For whatever odd reason, we're not using him. I don't know what the deal is with that. I think he's a good player. Are we not using him because we're still using some of McDaniels' playbook and he wasn't figured into it, and we can't figure out how to get him get him used? But I can't disagree with what you said either. Is he expendable at this point? Yeah, because we're not using him. And would somebody else love to have a slot receiver like that? Fuck yeah.
I think that's how McDaniels rolls. I think Renfro was expendable. I think Renfro was expendable in McDaniel's mind, and that's why we didn't use him.
Right.
And I think a coach like McDaniels could ruin a Renfro. Just because, you know what I mean? Instead of saying, hey, I'm balls out. I'm trying to win by any means necessary. I'm going to use all my players. And if a trade happens and somebody approached me, of course, we consider everything that could help our team, though. And I don't think McDaniels thinks that way. And I think it's showing. I love when AP was talking about how he was happy to get Renfro back going, how happy Renfro was. And I was listening to him talk about it. And that's the mentality that I want in a coach, is that here's the cards I got. I'm playing all of them to my best ability. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Here's another thing on that same note about trading players is that Devontae left Green Bay because he didn't want to be messing with Notre Dame. Jordan Love, he's in the same predicament right now. Basically, he's in the same predicament.
But he has shown that he's kind of riding with AOC. He's down with him.
He does, but
he's been supportive.
I take all those things though with a grain of salt. He was supportive of McDaniels too. What is he supposed to say? You know, he was supportive of him up until the last few minutes, but I think everybody knew that he was gone after that. But I mean, you know, I get it, but he is in that predicament, and is he trade value? Well, yeah, he's trade value. You know, it depends on how they want to approach the draft. You know?
Well, they shouldn't trade him. I mean, look, the last thing we need is to go find 3 quarterbacks. I mean, we're likely going to have to find 2. One for sure. Hoyer's gone. I don't even know why he's on the team. But anyway, Garoppolo, you know, they if they can find Garoppolo's expendable, they're going to have to find someone to pick up his contract, I guess. Or you can just keep him. I mean, if nobody wants to pay for him, because he does seem, Mother Moon, I think you would agree with this. He does seem to be very supportive. He seems to be very engaged. He seems to be a veteran who's there to be to help with basically all the things Hoyer was supposed to be.
Well, no, I definitely agree. And even yesterday's game I was watching, Jimmy G, he was rooting them on. He was coaching them. He had the enthusiasm from the sideline.
I enjoyed watching him from the sidelines.
Yeah.
Or on the sideline.
He's on the sidelines, yeah. So I think, he's there coaching them on in that way.
Yeah. Let's get into some of these comments really quickly, because I want to acknowledge our viewers, because they did respond to what we had asked about regarding AOC. Purple and Gold Raider says AOC equals a backup. Raider G, what's good? We ride with him this year. Remember, just last week he threw 4 touchdowns and 0 picks. Us Raiders fans are prisoners of the moment when it comes to AOC. And I will say, not only when it comes to AOC, probably when it comes to anyone, a coach, or any type of thing like that. Raider Travis, I like to see what he can do after working with Adams in the offseason. John Leon says, no, AOC is not a bridge quarterback, at least not yet. I think these not yet things too. Like, we have to remember, I just want to go back to what Stu said. I think I'm on the fence, but he has me leading a little bit more towards AOC with his comment of, it's really just not fair that players and coaches and quarterbacks these days are getting 6 to 7 games to make or break their career, whether we decide if they're disposable or not. He made great points to like Peyton Manning and Brady and all of these players. They weren't good their rookie season or in 6 games if we're going to evaluate an entire career. So that's why he kind of swayed me a little bit more towards, all right, let's see what he can do. Again, I'm going to go back to Raider G's comment, though. And, he loses the first 2 games next season. I'll be like, get rid of him. Because why? We're a little reactive like that. I'm not going to lie.
And don't forget, you guys, next season, we could have, I'm going to say we're going to have a new offense. So AOC is going to have to learn something all over again and start fresh. He's not going to have the benefit, because more than likely, we keep AP, he's going to bring in a coordinator. I'm going to say it's a more high probability that Hardegree is not going to be the guy, and he's going to bring in a veteran play caller with his own book. I mean, in my mind, he's too smart not to do that. And so now you're going to have an AOC starting all over again, learning a whole new.
But that's going to be anybody. That's going to be anybody. At least he's already got an advantage of working with AP, of working with Adams, of working with these different players. So he will have an advantage, because anyone else that's going to come in is going to have to either lose learn this playbook or any other playbook. And I'm sure it'll be a mesh of both. So that doesn't necessarily put him on behind the 8 ball. I just actually, with that point, I kind of think it buys him a little more time.
Well, but it also, as I was saying, we draft someone creates great competition. You got two guys pretty much, and especially like I say,
that's always good.
We're talking about Jaden Daniels, who that's one of AP's guys who come in fresh too, if they go that route. I think AOC has shown enough that we don't have to go first round. I'll give them that.
Okay, fair enough.
But I don't know about the rest, and I don't think anybody can know about the rest. Not, you know what I mean, unless they doing like CJ Stroud or something, putting up 550 yards in a game. So,
all right, let's see some more of these comments here. Terry King, thanks for being a supporter. Not bought yet. He's still unproven. Without the 2 defense touchdowns, do we still beat the Chiefs? Yeah, and like we've been saying, that is part of it. I think he is unproven. Again, on the fence, but I guess the bigger question is, do we give him more than 7 games to prove himself? And to her point, first team with 2+ defensive TDs in back-to-back weeks in 10 years. Congratulations to our defense, yo.
Yep.
I mean, listen, much as we've complained about the defense and they've been hated on, they are literally the reason why the Raiders are even in the hunt at this time. Lucky says, we move on. He is not the answer. We go after Caleb or LSU, Jaden. Bring in the talent, not prospects. And
I love that statement, though. Bring in talent and not prospects. That's a big statement. That just is, because it's like what I say about AP. The intangibles he have, you can't teach that. And that's what this guy is saying about these 2 players right now, is that, you know what? Yeah, a lot of people can learn things, but what they're bringing, you can't teach. So that's But we've seen people with talent at college level still screw up in the NFL,
Oh, yeah. No, the draft is a crapshoot. You never really can tell who's going to pan out and who isn't.
Point about those 2 players, though.
Right.
Yep.
So still on quarterback stuff, but backtracking just a second.
Tell me.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I saw Jimmy G warming up in the background.
I saw him.
Yeah. And so I think I had said it a few weeks ago on the show. I said, I'm not sure we've seen the last of him. But there was a comment about a while ago that you put up, do we still beat the Chiefs without those two defensive touchdowns? I don't particularly care for comments like that, because you don't know. You're going to play the game different when it's 14-13 than when it's 37-7. You do different things. So we really can't say that. Everybody wants to, well, we wouldn't have won that game. Well, you don't know, because we would have played different.
Sure. To her point, though, I think she's probably saying the offense needs to score some touchdowns.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't have your offense score a 2-point conversion and a field goal and expect to win much. You know what I'm saying?
And devil's advocate to that, and this isn't a disagreement. It's just a devil's advocate comment. Is that the old saying? Good teams find a way to win. We did. We found a way to win. So what can you say about that? That's why some of the comments that I'm seeing on Facebook. Oh well, you guys didn't score an offense. Oh well, you guys didn't get a completion and blah blah.
Who gives a shit? A win's a win.
We found a way to win.
Yeah. That's and this is not what Terry's saying, but to what you're saying. And I don't know what you saw on Facebook, but what I just heard you say. It's like, that's why there's an offense, a defense, and a special teams, because everyone needs to step up and contribute to these wins. Yes. So to say, that's almost like saying, okay, the offense scored a bunch of points, and it's such an offensive one way to look at things. It doesn't at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Does the offense need to score? For sure? Yeah. But those are, I don't know. Those are Raiders fans.
If you look at
Raiders fans, or
if you look at Primetime's team in college, in Colorado Buffaloes, everybody was all hyped up about them, and they were winning these games. Yeah, you were winning the games 45-41. You still got put 41 points on you, but you won the game. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, take the win. Take the win. However you get it, take the win. It is what it is.
Hey, I got it. Oh, wait a minute. She's putting on something.
I love this one.
Hey, I got a question too.
This should be their next ad right here.
Right?
How do you give the Raiders 2 touchdowns in 7 seconds? You bundle them.
I got a question too for you guys, because I was reading, and like I say, this speaks to the defense, what they did, 2 touchdowns, 7 seconds. What about Patrick Graham? You know, I've read, you know, because AP takes over, and it even looks like the whole defense is energized. They've been in Patrick Graham's defense since last season. You know, this is the second in his defense.
Yeah.
So
and on that, Omar, I was like, man, get rid of McDaniels and Graham. But this year, but this year, even before AP, the defense was playing pretty good. They were much improved. Yeah. You know, I'm not saying they were great like yesterday, but they were much improved. You know, so something happened there, and I got to give Patrick Graham credit. You know, he's doing something with them. Something's happening there. Malcolm Kuntz has come alive. Boy, forget about it. Let's talk about Malcolm Kuntz. Boy.
Right? I was just going to say that. Kuntz?
3 sacks.
Yeah.
Finally. Max is getting some help out there.
They were so worried about Max Crosby. They just shoot the other side.
They were holding him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Let's talk about that. Jesus. How many holding calls did Max get?
None.
We got 2 guys literally holding him the entire game.
Not enough.
And he was still
We started counting. Yeah. We were starting. Let's count how many holds he get. We were watching him. It's like it was
ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
I mean, it was so obvious. Like, okay, we let one or couple go, but my goodness. And it seemed like it was getting worse. They're like, oh, we can just get away with this the whole game. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Raider Nation News today was speaking on my thoughts too about why the defense just seemed to take off under AP. He's saying the offense and the defense were being hamstrung or handcuffed by McDaniels. And I'm thinking, you know, because I would love to keep Graham right now. If I'm AP, I'll maybe try to promote him to assistant head coach, go out here and find me a offensive coordinator, and I would definitely roll, you know, and try to stay consistent as I can with that defense, because man, it is just looking crazy.
Absolutely. That you got to retain Patrick Graham. I don't care what you do. You got to retain Patrick Graham. You know, and AP, but you know, but Patrick Graham I don't remember the last time our defense looked like this. This was wild. Mahomes still in that damn hot tub trying to soak him.
Moon, tell them our favorite play of the game. What's our favorite play of the game?
Oh, I don't know. One of the times that Mahomes got
Moon. I was asking, do you remember specifically? It involves Mad Max.
My bad.
Oh, no. Which one?
This was the best part, I thought. Like, Mahomes was getting tackled, like, going out of bounds on the sidelines. Mad Max had, like, went for the tackle, was already laying on the ground.
Oh,
Mahomes was going down. Max is literally laid out on the ground, and he's like, give me that fucking ankle. I'm going to take that ankle. Little bit of that ankle. It was like, oh my gosh, this guy, like, it was like Mahomes was going to get sacked anyway, but he was, or not sacked, tackled, but he was still, like, kind of upright. And Max is like, I just want a little bit of that ankle. And if you notice the rest of the game, Mahomes was hobbling around because of that little ankle grab.
Yeah.
Oh, it was an ankle grab and a little twist.
He got hurt in that game. He was getting popped good. He was getting
he was limping a few times. Mahomes, you saw him get up and limp. I mean, but Jesus Christ, Kuntz, man, it's so awesome to have him, right? Max has been praying to have someone on that other side that's wreaking havoc, and Malcolm Kuntz he has been, 3 sacks. 3 sacks yesterday, and he was all over Mahomes. It was pick your poison.
Well, that's because they were trying to hold Crosby the entire time. They didn't know it. They got a bookend now, so they need to watch out. But I also know about Crosby. He goes until the last second. He never gives up. He never slows down until he's made his final move. A lot of the other guys I've noticed every now and then they'll slow down. I think I could catch him, or I'm not quite have my arms around the quarterback, whatever it is. But Crosby never, ever gives up. And I think he's got that in his in Kuntz too.
Love it.
I'm excited for both of them.
Love it.
going into the draft conversation that we were just having. So if Aiden O'Connell is good enough where we don't have to draft a quarterback high, so now you got Kuntz, you got Crosby. Let's draft high one of the best middle defensemen on that's out there up high, and let's solidify that defensive line. Let's go. Let's get after that quarterback. What did Albert Davis say? Get after that quarterback. Knock him down.
It's gonna be interesting because there's a lot. I think there's a lot we can do in this draft. You know, whether we get another cornerback, which helps the pass rush. There's nobody to throw it to. Quarterback's got to hold the ball a little bit longer. So I can't wait. Like I say, and that's why I think AOC puts us in a good position. You know, we don't have to, throw the Hail Mary for a quarterback right now. And, like I say, that's how I feel now. We'll see.
I totally agree with that right now.
Sorry, that graphic was a little premature, but let's talk a little bit about how the offense looked specifically, Moon, you got me saying that now. Specifically in the running back position, the second week in a row without Josh Jacobs. Some of us were excited to see what could happen. Some of us are rooting for Josh Jacobs. Some of us are rooting for Jameer Wright. I think we're just rooting for the best man for the position. But this man is definitely stepping up right here. Jameer White at running back, 39 carries, 214 yards. What is this? Versus Chargers and Kansas City. Okay, 1 touchdown and 5.48 on average. I think Josh was around like 2 yards, something like that.
I think it was 3 and some change, but he was higher. Of course, last season.
Yeah. But not comparing Josh to Josh, but Josh to Jameer White. He's definitely stepped up to the challenge. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it's great to have depth at the running back position. I mean, we love Josh Jacobs. Jesus Christ, forgive me.
Go back.
I can't believe the blasphemy that was almost coming out of my mouth. Anyway, we love Jacobs. I don't. You know what? Like I say, I love competition. Like I say, it's going to come down to dollars and cents, of course, in the off season. Hopefully we can do what we need to do and keep Josh Jacobs and fill out the rest of this team, whether it be by draft or free agency. And I think that's going to come down to. I don't think Jacobs is in any jeopardy by Jameer White. He may be just be in jeopardy of salary cap.
Yeah. That part. And isn't it nice, like you said, Omar? It's nice to have some competition. It's nice to have some coaches. These guys are going to be playing a little bit harder, knowing that they want to be the number one guy or not. I just want to circle back to the comments here. We had a lot of great comments. I'm going to try to get to some of them here. Let's see. Raider Nation News today. Jameer earned the nickname Zeus, extended Jacobs, and have a 2-headed monster with JJ and Zeus. I'm definitely not mad at that. Fernando, what's good? Just give AOC a whole year to develop. He has potential to get better this year. I would agree with that. I think he needs more time. Like I keep saying, so I don't think 7 games is definitely enough. And again, we'll never know, but we haven't had really consistency at the quarterback position. Well, maybe the second half of the season, but definitely not in the first half. So it's really hard to gauge and kind of give him a chance there. John says, good. I hope the Chiefs lose out and we win out. We win the West. We are going to get into that. Probably no better time than really, really soon here. What's up to the General? Thank you for joining us. But yeah, let's get into a little bit of these playoff scenarios here because
playoffs.
What?
Right? Who could have imagined we would not only be talking about it's kind of crazy though. The percentage is low, but to talk about not only being in the playoffs, but making a run at the AFC West Championship. Whether percentage are low or not, I think it's fun to just be in the conversation. Of course, a lot of things have to happen, but maybe they'll happen because they did happen last weekend for the most part. So the Raiders, of course, must win out, and 4 of the 7 must happen. Let's just kind of go line by line here. We'll get some predictions of what we think.
3 of those are going to happen. So, sorry. Go ahead. My bad. I got excited.
No, it's okay. Well, let's go line by line here and see what we think. We'll just take it with the Chiefs. Okay, Chiefs lose 2 games, would lose division to Raiders, which would be amazing. I think I think we get a split here, but really that could happen.
I mean, I think definitely we're gonna beat the Colts. The Tennessee.
Oh yeah, assuming we win out, but let's take it line by line, starting with the Chiefs here.
Starting with the Chiefs, seeing them lose against Bengals that don't have their starting quarterback, or the Chargers that don't have their starting quarterback. Oh, that's a hard one. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't go with no on that one.
By the moon.
I think the Chiefs are going to lose because now everybody thinks that they're going to be able to beat them because they're in such a low place. So they're going to lose.
Blood's in the water. I like it. I like it. All right. The Jags here must lose to Titans. I think that could go either way. I mean, we needed going into this, looking back at this playoff scenario the past 3 weeks, it's changed a bit. We've always needed a lot of help from the Titans, and this is no exception.
Possible. It's possible.
Possible, yeah. And and their quarterback's kind of struggling a little bit himself.
Tennessee, man, they played well. They've been a little inconsistent, but if they're on one, they can beat Houston. If they're on one, they can beat Houston.
Yeah, no. I'll go with that. I don't really know that one. I don't know about that one, but so.
All right, let's go on to the Bills. They must lose both of these games. The Patriots, of course, aren't a great team. They've already been eliminated. But hey, look, they've been they showed some promise. They beat the Broncos, of course, on Christmas Eve, and then they're away against Miami. Of course, we're hoping Miami can take that one. What do we think here, guys?
Well, one good thing about that is that Belichick has to save face before he gets fired.
That's true. No, that's true. That's a good point, actually.
Patriots have gotten hot. They can get hot and beat the Bills. They've done it before.
And here's the other thing: the Bills aren't that consistent to speak of either. They've been a little funny this year.
Belichick knows how to dial his defense up to beat the Bills. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. But in my mind, this is one of the scenarios that I feel is least likely to happen. And that with some of these other ones, probably we don't need it.
Well, we need 4 of the 7, so we need a hefty amount here. Let's go on to
I think the other ones are the ones that can happen.
Yeah. All right, let's go into the Colts here. Must lose one game. Of course, the Raiders have to win. This is like this. I mean, that one's kind of, we don't even have to talk about that one because the Raiders have to win.
Is that
has to be one, though? The Raiders win has to be their one loss.
Is that a 2-for-1 though?
That is. No, I don't think that one counts because it's. I wish. The Texans must lose one game. I think they lose both of these.
I think Raider fans need to become part-time Tennessee Titan fans because
for sure.
Yeah, let's root for the team that's going to get us where we need to be. Right. Put your feelings.
No more of that stuff, Omar. No more of that nonsense. And I'm kidding. I don't think any of those come into play anymore, do they?
A couple of Woods and Whiskeys, Morning Woods, and I'm like, fuck the Chargers.
I'm going to remove myself from talking about your Morning Wood. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
It's in a cup. It's in a cup.
I don't care where your wood is. I'm going to remove myself. I don't care if it's in a cup. I don't care. All right. Moving on.
Sunshine Bug.
Yeah, we love you, Sunshine Bug. Steelers must lose to Ravens. Okay, so here's the tricky one, right? Because the Ravens...
No, I think the Steelers are going to lose to Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to smash the Steelers.
But according to this graph, that doesn't matter. According to this chart, they must lose to the Ravens.
I thought,
and it's going to depend on, are the Ravens going to be playing their starters in a position where they've already clinched the top seed? So that's where the little tricky part gets. What were you going to say, Scotty?
I was going to say I thought I had seen this graphic where they could lose either one, and then
right, me too.
But I may be wrong.
I like that better.
And I thought the same thing. I was like, the Seahawks are going to smash them.
Yeah. And I still think, but to your point, I still think even without Lamar Jackson, I don't know who their backup is off the top of my head, but that Ravens defense is, showed us last night that they're in playoff form. I think, especially who's going to be the quarterback for the Steelers. it's been, musical chairs. So, yeah, I can see the Steelers losing both of these games.
Yeah, I can too.
Yep.
All right, now let's get into this one. I think this one is the most interesting. The Bengals must lose one. Okay, however, that's a little misleading because the one they must lose is the Browns. So really, this should say the Bengals need to beat the Chiefs and lose to the Browns because, as we know, the Chiefs have to lose 2 games. So this is the one that the verbiage there is a little tricky. It really should say the Bengals must beat the Chiefs and must lose to the Browns. So all eyes as Raiders fans, I think, are going to be on that game right there.
Well, beating the Chiefs. The only thing that really gets us is a chance to win the division.
Yeah, don't you want that?
Well, yeah, I get that, but I think more plausible thing is for us to get into the.
Sure, fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen, since they gave me hope, I want it all now, Scotty. Okay.
I got you.
Don't burst that bubble.
Don't like dangle it out in front of me and then try to give me the lefties, okay?
Touché.
Oh,
All right, so what do we think happens in this scenario?
And the Bengals one,
Yeah.
I think that's one that's a yes.
Yeah, they're going to lose at least to the Browns.
One.
I think I actually, unfortunately, think they're going to lose to Kansas City as well, but they're definitely going to lose to the Browns. I would love it if they win against KC and then lose against the Browns. We only need one, so
I think the bottom five, for some odd reason can happen. I just do. I just do.
Yeah.
Well, the way this last weekend went, I'm open for anything to happen. I just call me Mrs. Optimistic O.
Yeah.
I think it's all going to fall in our where we need it to be.
I would just say, like, as a Raiders fan, I think it's exciting. It makes it interesting to be at this point with only 2 games left and still having a chance. I really, 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 really hope moving into that final week and having the last home game against a division rival, if that game still means something, woo! Prime time Sunday night right there. That's what it'll be. And that'll be very exciting.
That'll be an awesome game. Yes.
Can I dream for a second?
Yes.
Yes.
Go for it.
Out loud.
What if we had gotten AP 2 games earlier? Damn it. We'd be in the money. We would be in the mix. We wouldn't need so many things. We'd be in there. We'd be in there. Oh man.
So you want to say hire AP now? That's what I'm hearing?
There we go, Mother Moon. Nice. Can I just say, I don't know if really quickly, I just want to put up this last funny. Oh yeah, drink. I've been drinking anyway, but
Me too.
I just want to put this up because I thought this was super funny. I don't know if anybody watched the Nickelodeon version of this game, but this stat, they put some stats towards kids, of course. Look at the top one. First half stats. Read it. Somebody read that for me.
Having fun. Yeah, Raiders, yes. Kansas City,
yes,
no.
and then no.
Nice.
I thought that was great. I was like, oh
cute.
man, Nickelodeon got jokes.
Hey, somebody told me that they were watching on Nickelodeon. I didn't even know they had the game. And they said, you know what? Watching on Nickelodeon is actually pretty fun.
It was fun. We kind of watched them both simultaneously. And listen, if you have a kid, it's so much fun to watch. And even if you don't have a kid, I thought it was fun to watch. But yeah, I thought this stat was super funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we are almost up on our time here. We got a couple more minutes. Maybe we'll go a little bit over here because I just want to get to some of these comments because we appreciate everyone that's watching. Travis doubles down, says hire AP. So cheers.
Twerk.
Lucky says we are already winners. We got rid of Josh McDaniels.
That was a good start. Yes.
Travis also says he thinks they will win out. Let's hope so. Yes. I mean, he always thinks that. He's just so optimistic. Jay Jackson, playoffs is a double bourbon shot of whiskey. All right, I'll roll with that.
I'm with that. Sure.
Raider Nation news today. McDaniels never tried to develop AOC. Exactly why he was emergency backup until McDaniels was fired. Yeah, he was rolling a little too hard with the Patriots way with the Garoppolo and Hoyer. Hoyer. My goodness. Why? Fernando
earlier,
says,
someone said
back
that.
to AOC, just give AOC a whole year to develop. He has potential to get better. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Any last words, any last comments, something you just didn't get to say and you want to say? The floor is yours.
Go ahead, Omar.
I think I said
I'll just go by and
man.
let you gentlemen finish it up. I just want to say I hope I'm able to see the game next week. It's not coming out for the Bay Area, so
I know where Omar lives. I know he has an NFL package. See you at 10.
You're like, I know where we can go, and might score a waffle or something.
That was a little hint, but okay, thank you.
I kind of like an invite, actually.
Hey, I had a last thought that I thought of earlier today.
Please.
We need to win. We need to win out. I think that Mark Davis could do the Raider Nation and the Raiders a solid by Friday evening. Saying, AP, here's your contract. You are hired. And I think that would fire us up for sure. But I think that would fire the team up.
That's a good point.
That little, may not need that push. I think we can. I think we can win out. But the Colts are always a tough team. The Colts in Tennessee are always tough teams. You don't know what you're going to get with either of those teams, and we always seem to play them at the end of the season. But let's fire them up. Come on, Mark Davis. And I think AP has the job already. What's maybe is something he doesn't want to distract the team right now. Blah blah blah. But I think he can fire this team up because everybody wants to play for him, and I think he could. Right. I think he could do us a solid.
That is a great point, actually.
AP said, I like that. And AP said, I know that you know that they know. We all know that he needs to be hired. So yeah. That's great. I love that idea.
That's a great point. I actually didn't think of that. That could be a great motivator for the team to say, all right, we got our guy. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to worry about it. We respect this guy. We're playing hard for him. It could give the fans a boost to support the team even more. And what we've all wanted and craved for as Raiders fans over so many years is consistency. And to know that that's there as a fan and as a player, I think would be huge.
Well, and the thing about it is also let's say we win against the Colts and AP's our guy. And let's say there's a chance we still have going into the Denver game. You want to see some seats filled with black? Okay, let's go. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it because we're gonna show up and we got our guy. We got a chance still. Man, come on, do it. Do it for the nation. Come on, let's go.
I might have to wear my Cortezes for that game.
Yeah. It's something I think it's something that should be done. I think our season is already ending on a high note. I'm not saying it's the end that I don't have hope, but I think the end of the season is already on a high. Why not ride that momentum into these next two games? Motivate players, motivate the fans, and let's see what we can do. We need some help. Oh well, it is what it is. But if we do our part, then we're motivated. We're I think that also can retain players. I think that's a big, going into the offseason.
I like that. I like your thinking.
Yeah, not knowing if he's the coach, if he's not. Nah, give us some stability here, Mark Davis. Give us some stability.
Do you think this? I know we're gonna wrap here soon, but does Max's, Devontae's, the likes of those guys, does their input? How big of an input does hiring AP weigh on the decision making? And I think it's high. And if it is high, how soon do they act on it?
I think that's exactly what I was trying to say. Again, what do we want to do? Do we have some consistency here? Are you going to bring in somebody else? And then we got this quarterback, and then we got to draft a quarterback. What are we doing? Blah, blah, blah. No. Hire that man. and say, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is where we're going, Raiders. This is where we're going. Mark Davis needs to stand up and talk. He needs to talk.
Yeah, and I honestly can't buy into bringing in Harbaugh. I don't like the narrative. I just, he's a fine coach, whatever. He's a good coach. I just don't think he fills the Raider Nation vibe. You know what I mean? Like a lot, like we need that. I think with the players and the fans, we were craving that. And this guy like talks the talk. AP that is, and I just don't like the idea of bringing in like I'll say an outsider.
Yeah, Harbaugh should have been where he should have been hired instead of McDaniels, if anything. But I think at this point,
right? But now,
got your guy.
Right.
I think Mark Davis could cause way more trouble for himself if he does. I do. I think I really think he did. I think he had. That's why I was still kind of tripping on that statement he made when you just promoted a guy and look what he's doing. You know what I mean? You say you hope he gets he does what he needs to do to get the job. He has. Believe your eyes. At least that. Hey, just believe your eyes. What you're seeing. You know what the players have told you. They told you this about Versace. You say you regret not hiring Versace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Let that just
don't make the same mistake twice.
Right. This is why that one statement he was making, I read. I'm like, what? I've heard this before back when you first started. Now I'm hearing it again. But I also have heard you regret not hiring Versace. I hear the players talking. Dude, just open. When he was doing this at that game,
right?
Believe it, seeing, bro. Believe it. I mean, that's just it. Mark Davis, believe when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Amen. Amen to that.
And if I can have a last thought here, I forgot
one
thing I was thinking. When AP got there, we were fired up. We put up 30-some points on the Giants, this and that and the other. Okay, they said it's just the Giants. It's just the Giants, and they were talking all that. We won the next game. Oh, it's just this team. We just beat Kansas City. What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
What's up? Now what are you saying? Oh, it's just the Chiefs? Hire that man. Golly, come on. There ain't nothing else to prove. I didn't think he had to prove going into the Kansas City game. He got thrown into a mess. What else? Come on, man. But he got the job done. He got the job done.
I think he also proved he had to prove to himself as well.
Sure. He was emotional after that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was.
When
you work hard, you achieve your goal. That's it.
Try to talk really quickly. Just hear me out really quickly. So everything that you just said, you could literally put AOC in the same boat because they started really at the same time. They both got thrown into a mess. They both got thrown in together. They both have gone through this journey of these, 7-ish games together. But what's interesting, even for myself, for one guy, we're saying hire him, no ifs, ands, buts about it. And the other guy, we're saying we're on the fence.
Well, the other guy hasn't. I'm sorry, but I disagree with you because AOC hasn't given us the same kind of results AP has.
Well, I wasn't really. You can't really say one way or the other. I would say the same way. They have their own situation.
I'm like, AOC has not given us the same results as AP, and AOC don't even make us feel like AP.
Well, that part, he doesn't make us feel like, but they've given us the same results.
No, they have not, because it's been the defense. We just said that. It's been the defense that's winning, and that's AP's thing. And just like someone said in the chats, AP turned Patrick Graham loose and probably has helped out. He's one thing I love. He's never tried to take any credit for, you know what I mean? I love that about that is a team guy. That's a leader right there. He's never tried to steal Patrick Graham's thunder, but we saw a huge improvement when he took over. And
so are we giving AP full credit for the defense?
Here we go. If you can motivate men, including a coordinator, I'm giving him credit as being a great leader. That's what I'm giving him credit for.
Well, I think AP takes some of the credit for the defense, but
right.
Course, if McDaniels had him hamstrung, and he took the handcuffs off, give him credit for freeing Patrick to do his thing.
Sure, we can say that.
But I can't say that AOC has done what AP has done. He has not. I could see, like I say, we've had some different things going on with the offense. They didn't have to win it for us, but he's scoring a few points here. You know what I mean?
Well,
I do.
That's what I said.
I think I would feel different.
Why I'm saying I do get it, and that's why I said you can't really disagree with me because I wasn't advocating for one way or the other. I was just bringing up the fact that they both got thrown into the mess at the same time, and they both have the same results, obviously because they're on the same team. That's all.
Yeah. Well, I think AOC's done. He for a rookie, he ain't done bad. There's definitely been worse. He ain't done bad. And like I say, for me, unless AP says Jaden's my guy, get him, we don't have to draft a QB in the first round. That's what AOC gives us. Mark Davis, don't screw it up, please.
Can we just talk really quickly, Scotty? Why did you want to say something before we kind of move on to this last?
That's what I was saying at the beginning. Is that with AOC, it's hard for me to be sold on him, but I also got to give him credit because he's not doing some of the worst things that he could be doing.
Right.
It's hard. I can see it both ways between you guys. I can see it both ways.
And I don't hate AOC at all. I don't dislike him. I know he's got potential.
Yeah, we're on the fence, I think.
All I'm just saying is the one thing I can say he gives us is, like I say, we don't have to reach for a QB right now. We don't. But like I say, I would love to keep youth at that QB position. We don't have to go get some free agent and pay them big money. I think he does a lot for us. And like I say, he does have potential. But like I say, in my mind, we'll get either AP's guy or we'll draft someone a little bit later for some competition.
I think this is the perfect comment to sum up the chatter between the AOC AP conversation. AOC needs to pick up his game. Defense can't win every game. They can't score all the touchdowns to win games. And I think that's it. Really quickly, just for a little fun on the way out, let's talk about the gifts to the offensive line, Mother Moon.
Well, my favorite is AOC. His wife.
Everyone got golf carts.
Oh, some got golf carts. Yes, I don't know what everyone gave their team, but AOC's wife, bless her heart, she baked cookies for them. I love it. I'm sure it's maybe cookies in a box with a watch or something. I'm not sure.
I mean, it's sweet. Listen, he doesn't have the money Patrick Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence have. He can't be buying golf carts. Homeboy just bought himself a new Mazda. Good for him for being smart with his money. So, those cookies were probably damn good.
Hey,
I bet you they were the best cookies they've had.
These guys can buy any damn thing that they want to buy. You know what? This guy goes, hey, look, this is what I can offer right now. I'm just this little rookie guy. I ain't nobody. I ain't mad at it, man. Go on.
I'm not mad at it either.
I'm not mad. I thought it was cute.
They could have been weed cookies.
The other guys are, give that guy a golf cart. Give that guy a golf cart. Blah blah blah. And she's all, should I bake chocolate chip or does he like sugar? There was so much thought and love that went into that.
I just really want to know, were they made from scratch or do they come from a tube? I'm just kidding. We love it. We love it. Well, thank you all for watching. We went an extra quarter here. We went into overtime. So thanks for sticking around for overtime. Remember, if you haven't already, light that torch, hit that like. Speaking of smoking laced cookies, Moon's hanging out with Snoop over there, apparently. Courtesy of Omar. Light that torch, hit that like button. Please subscribe. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Become a member. Circle back and watch some of our other shows as well. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching. And remember, Raider Nation, we go out one way and only one way. Raiders! Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow night for Woods and Whiskey Wednesdays.